The future is off-grid Earth versus Mars. What if I told you the future of living isn't just on Earth, but on Mars, and the tech from both worlds could save you money, energy, and maybe even the planet? We toured a real-life Earthship 2.0 and survived a week in a NASA-style Mars simulation to bring you the secrets of off-grid living. Spoiler, your next home might look like this. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how we think about shelter, resources, and our impact on the environment, whether that environment is the one we know or one that's millions of miles away. The challenges are immense. How do you stay warm when it's freezing, cool when it's scorching, all without a giant power plant down the road? How do you get fresh water when there are no pipes, or grow food when there's no soil? These are the exact problems that Earthship builders and Mars mission planners have been tackling head-on, and their solutions are nothing short of genius. We're going to dive deep into the science, the engineering, and the sheer ingenuity behind these incredible habitats. We'll look at how they generate their own power, harvest their own water, process their own waste, and even produce their own food, creating truly self-sufficient living spaces. So buckle up, because we're about to take you on an adventure from the deserts of New Mexico to a simulated Martian landscape. We'll show you the nuts and bolts, the triumphs and the oops, let's try that again moments. And by the end, you'll not only understand how this tech works, but also how you might be able to incorporate some of these game-changing ideas into your own life. We're not just talking about surviving, we're talking about thriving, sustainably and smartly, using lessons learned from building for Earth and dreaming for Mars. Get ready to have your mind blown. Alright, check this out. This isn't a spaceship, though. It kinda looks like it could launch into orbit, right? This, my friends, is an Earthship. And these walls, they might look a bit unconventional, maybe even a little rugged, but they are made of good old-fashioned recycled tires packed solid with Earth. But don't let the simple materials fool you. These walls are way smarter than your average thermostat, and they're the key to one of this home's most amazing superpowers. I'm talking about thermal mass, and it's a game changer. So what exactly is thermal mass? Imagine a giant natural battery, but instead of storing electricity, it stores heat energy. These densely packed tire walls, along with the earth bermed up around the building, absorb heat from the sun during the day, or from a small, efficient wood stove if you need it. Then, when the temperature outside drops at night or during the winter, the walls slowly release that stored heat back into the house, keeping everything cozy. It's like the house is giving itself a warm hug all day and all night. The construction itself is fascinating. We're talking about hundreds, sometimes thousands, of discarded car tires, each one painstakingly filled with compacted earth using sledgehammers. It's labor-intensive, no doubt, but you're turning a massive waste problem, old tires, into a super-efficient building solution. These tire walls are incredibly strong, durable, and, as we've established, amazing at temperature regulation. It's this clever use of materials that makes an Earthship so unique and so effective at creating a stable internal environment. And here's the kicker, this Earthship and others like it can maintain a comfortable 70 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 21 to 22 Celsius, year-round. Think about that. Whether it's a scorching summer day or, get this, even in the middle of a snowstorm with freezing temperatures outside, the inside stays remarkably consistent. All of this happens with minimal, and sometimes zero, reliance on conventional heating or cooling systems. Can you imagine the energy savings? It's mind-boggling when you compare it to the energy bills for a standard house. Now you might be looking at these walls and thinking, okay, tires and dirt, I get it, but there's more to it than just that. You'll never guess what's really hiding in the genius of these walls. It's not just about the materials themselves, but how they interact with the overall design of the house, the orientation towards the sun, the large south-facing windows, the ventilation systems. It's a whole symphony of passive design working together, and the walls are the lead instrument. But an Earthship 2.0 isn't just about passive design, it's also about smart, active systems. Check out these solar panels. They're not just sitting there. They actually track the sun across the sky, like sunflowers following their energy source. This maximizes the amount of electricity they generate throughout the day, ensuring that the home's batteries are topped up and there's plenty of power for lights, appliances, and any other modern conveniences you might need. It's about wringing every last drop of energy from that giant fusion reactor in the sky. And it gets even smarter. There's often an AI or at least a sophisticated management system that optimizes energy use. It knows when the sun is strongest, when the batteries are full, and when to draw power from them. It can even learn the household's patterns to make sure energy is used most efficiently. This intelligent control makes the whole system more resilient and cost-effective. It's like Tesla, with its cutting-edge battery tech and software, decided to team up with Mother Nature, who's obviously the undisputed champion of sustainable design. You get this beautiful blend of high-tech efficiency and natural eco-friendly principles. The result is a home that's not just off-grid but also incredibly comfortable, resilient, and dare I say, a little bit futuristic, even though the core ideas have been around for a while. Okay, so we've seen how Earthships use clever design and natural principles to live off-grid on Earth. But what if you're trying to live on Mars? We're talking about an environment that is actively trying to kill you, every second of every day. To prepare for that, scientists and engineers at places like NASA had to solve the ultimate off-grid problems. Absolutely no breathable air outside, no liquid water, no food, and extremely limited power. The stakes couldn't be higher. And here's the amazing part, the part that really got me excited. Guess what? A lot of those incredibly advanced, life-or-death solutions they developed for Mars, they work astonishingly well right here on Earth, especially for anyone looking to go seriously off-grid or just live more sustainably. It's like a treasure trove of high-tech hacks for self-sufficiency, born from the necessity of surviving on another planet. This isn't just science fiction, it's practical application. For example, let's talk about water. On Mars, every single drop is precious beyond measure. You can't just drill a well or tap into a municipal supply. So, they've developed closed-loop water recycling systems that are almost unbelievably efficient. Take this toilet, for instance. It's part of a system that recycles up to 98% of all wastewater. And yes, that includes that water, the stuff from the toilet, showers, sinks, even moisture from the air, back into pure, drinkable water. Now, I know what you're thinking. Drinking recycled pee sounds a bit out there. But the technology involved is incredible. We're talking about a multi-stage process involving advanced filtration, chemical treatments, reverse osmosis, and often UV sterilization. It's far more sophisticated than many municipal water treatment plants on Earth. The goal is to make water that's not just safe, but actually cleaner than what many of us drink every day from our taps. So the big question, ready to see how it tastes? This is it. Years of research, millions of dollars in development, all culminating in this moment. For science, wow, okay, it tastes like victory. Seriously, it tastes like incredibly clean water. No weird aftertaste, no hint of its previous life, just pure H2O, and that's the point. This technology means that even in the most water-scarce environments, whether it's a Martian crater or a drought-stricken region on Earth, a reliable source of clean drinking water is possible. That's not just cool, it's potentially life-saving for millions. Next up, food. Growing food on Mars means no soil, no natural sunlight, or very little that's useful, and extremely limited space. The solution? Advanced hydroponics and aeroponics. We ran an experiment here in the habitat. In just 7 days, using this system, we grew nearly 20 pounds of fresh vegetables. Lettuce, spinach, radishes, herbs. All without a single speck of soil, and using a fraction of the water traditional agriculture would require. The secret is in providing the plants with exactly what they need, directly to their roots. A nutrient-rich water solution is circulated, and specialized LED lights provide the optimal spectrum of light for photosynthesis, often tailored to specific crops. These systems can be incredibly compact, stacked vertically to maximize yield in a small footprint. We're talking about fresh, nutritious food grown literally anywhere you can provide power and a controlled environment. Imagine this for urban farming, disaster relief, or just growing your own veggies in your apartment. Chapter 3. Alright, so we've seen some incredible high-level tech in Earthships and Mars habitats. But what if you're not ready to build a tire house or launch yourself to the red planet just yet? Good news! There are some seriously cool, practical, and dare I say, stealable ideas from space exploration and off-grid living that you can actually use in your everyday life right now to save money, be more resilient, and maybe even grow some ridiculously fast tomatoes. Let's break down 5 of my favorites. First up, let's talk about the Martian tomato trick. This sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's all about using specific LED light recipes for supercharged plant growth. You see, plants don't use all colors of sunlight equally. Scientists have figured out the exact wavelengths of red and blue light, for example, that trigger the most vigorous growth in different plants. By giving your plants only the light they need most, you can get them to grow up to 3 times faster than normal and often with higher nutritional content. You don't need a NASA-grade laboratory to try this. You can buy specialized LED grow lights online, or even experiment with different colored LEDs if you're feeling adventurous. Imagine harvesting fresh herbs or salad greens from a small indoor setup in a fraction of the usual time. This is perfect for urban gardeners, people with limited space, or anyone who just wants to impress their friends with their futuristic farming skills. It's a simple concept with a huge impact on how quickly you can get food from seed to plate. Hack number 2 is what I call the DIY power wall battery hack. Now, big disclaimer here, working with batteries can be dangerous if you don't know what you're doing, so please be careful, do your research, and if you're unsure, consult an expert. That said, many of us have old laptops lying around with batteries that still hold some charge. These laptop batteries are made up of smaller individual cells, often 18650 lithium-ion cells, which are the same type used in many commercial power walls, just fewer of them. The idea is to carefully salvage these cells, test them to make sure they're still healthy, and then, again, safely and with proper knowledge of electronics, combine them in series and parallel to create your own DIY power bank, or even a small power wall. This can be used to store solar energy from a small panel, power small appliances, or act as an emergency backup. It's a fantastic way to recycle e-waste and get some energy independence, but seriously, safety first on this one, folks. It's about being resourceful, but not reckless. Our third hack is all about waste equals sign energy, specifically focusing on composting toilets that, and I quote, don't suck. Literally. I know, the mere mention of composting toilets can make some people wrinkle their noses. But modern composting toilets are a world away from the smelly outhouses of the past. They are high-tech, odor-free, and incredibly efficient at turning human waste into valuable compost, all while saving thousands of gallons of water per year. No, seriously, they're odor-free. The good ones use smart ventilation systems that create negative pressure, so all odors are vented outside, and the composting process itself, when done correctly with added carbon material like sawdust, is aerobic and doesn't produce nasty smells. Some even have heating elements and mixing mechanisms to speed up decomposition. This isn't just for extreme off-gridders, it's a viable solution for anyone looking to drastically reduce their water usage and create a useful soil amendment. It's a closed-loop system for your, personal outputs. Hack number 4 brings us back to Earthship principles, passive heat for $0. This is all about smart design, specifically how to position and use windows to heat your home for free using the sun's energy. Chapter 4. So, we've explored the incredible self-sufficiency of Earthships and the cutting-edge survival tech of a Mars habitat. But the big question remains, what's it actually like to live in these places? Could you do it? Let's compare the day-to-day reality. On one hand, you have the Earthship, which, as you can see, often feels less like a rugged survival shelter and more like a luxury eco-Airbnb. Living in an Earthship, especially a well-designed Earthship 2.0, is an experience in grounded comfort. There's an abundance of natural light streaming through those huge south-facing windows, often illuminating indoor gardens that are literally part of your living space. The air feels fresh, partly because of the plants and partly because of the natural materials used in construction. There's a profound quietness that comes from being so well insulated from the outside world. The comfort isn't just aesthetic, it's deeply practical. Imagine waking up every day to a stable, pleasant temperature, regardless of the weather outside, without hearing an HVAC system kick on and off. Picture yourself harvesting fresh herbs or tomatoes for your breakfast from a planter just a few steps from your kitchen. There's a connection to your environment, a sense of being sheltered by the earth rather than just on it. It's a unique blend of modern living and a deep, almost primal sense of security. Daily life in an Earthship revolves around a gentle rhythm of interacting with these natural systems. You might check your rainwater levels, tend to your indoor greenhouse, or simply enjoy the sunlight knowing it's also powering your home. There's a mindful awareness of resources not born out of scarcity, but out of an appreciation for the elegant efficiency of the design. It's less about roughing it, and more about smart living it. Now let's shift gears to the Mars habitat. Life here is a completely different ballgame. It's often described by analog astronauts as being similar to living in a submarine or a remote research station. Space is at an absolute premium. Every item has a purpose, every system is critical. It's an environment dictated by extreme efficiency and the constant underlying awareness that the only thing separating you from a lethal vacuum is a few inches of metal and technology. The psychological aspects are huge. You're in a confined space, often with the same small group of people, for an extended period. Your schedule is likely to be highly structured, filled with experiments, system checks, exercise to combat muscle and bone loss in simulated reduced gravity, and food production tasks. While there's Wi-Fi for communication and data, there's also a sense of isolation and total reliance on the habitat's life support. It's a mental challenge as much as a physical one. Yet, despite the stark differences in ambiance and freedom, there's a fascinating similarity. So, after all that, the big question is, would you rather live in a super chill, self-sufficient Earthship, a cutting-edge, hyper-efficient Mars pod, or are you pretty happy in your boring old, just kidding, conventional house? Let me know. Smash that like button if you're Team Earthship, hit subscribe if you're dreaming of Mars, and definitely drop a comment below telling us your choice and why. We genuinely want to hear what you think about these future living concepts. And hey, because you guys are awesome and stuck with us through thick and thin and recycled water, we've put together a little something for you. Remember those Earthship principles and some of the Mars tech we talked about? We've compiled some of the basic concepts and even some open-source blueprint resources we found during our research. If you're curious and want to dive deeper, the link is right there in the description below, totally free, our gift to you for being part of this journey. A huge thank you to the Earthship community for their incredible hospitality, and to the amazing and very patient NASA interns who made sure we didn't accidentally jettison ourselves into the simulated Martian vacuum. You guys rock, thanks so much for watching. We had an absolute blast exploring these incredible ways of living, and we hope you learned a thing or two, and maybe even got inspired. What crazy experiment should we try next? Let us know. Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning,